This is the 122nd episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the last week of January 2013. This episode is titled With a B. CloudFocus Weekly is sponsored by Arkus, your cloud community experts. And I'm your musical host, Jason Atwood. Joining me, the very unmusical but well-dressed today, Justin Elstein. Justin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to ask.
It is kind of me to ask. It's kind of like me to ask what's on the agenda today.
What is on the agenda today?
Oh, yeah. It would be better if you actually knew.
Fill me in, please.
We have our blog post of the week, which is comparing data loaders for Salesforce, which has already gotten some feedback from friends of Arkus and blog readers around. So we'll talk about that. And then, is Salesforce pivoting away from social and the social enterprise? A ZDNet article we'll discuss. Maybe we have an opinion. And then Apple's earnings were interesting, but what was really more interesting was how much they've taken over the sort of messaging space. So we're going to talk about that. And then we will make our CloudFocus app pick of the weeks, and that will be good. So let's start off with the blog post of the week, written by one of the members here at Arkus in his weekly rotation, called Comparing Data Loaders for Salesforce, which is on blog.arkusinc.com, and which he took a look at 3 different data loaders, sort of free data loaders. So
free data loaders, not including the Apex data loader,
right,
or Alexa loader for those Mac users out there.
Right.
So things that you can connect to Salesforce and load data, CSVs, or in some cases other sources.
Right. So he looked at 3 of them, and he kind of did a little what they're good for, what they're not good for, and then gave a little. So he looked at Jitterbit, DataLoader.io, and Informatica Data Loader. So 3 big ones. There are more out there than this. This is not the only ones out there.
Yeah, not the definitive list.
Jitterbit is one that has been floating around. I would say has, in the circles, has gotten more and more buzz. I've been hearing more and more about Jitterbit. In fact, I just got their news announcement that Jitterbit 5 is available, I think.
OS 10 Mountain Lion compatible.
Yes, which for the first time makes me even remotely interested. So I have enough.
I couldn't even use it before. I had to go into Parallels to use it. I've used it. So this is, full disclosure, this is the one of the 3 that is listed here that I've actually used.
Well, I've used 3 others than this, but they're not listed here.
Well, I've used others as well, but that aren't listed here. But of these 3, this is the one that I've used. They all, I presume, are rather similar. You have to get used to them, just like the first time you opened up the Apex data loader, and you're like, what is all of this? Similar, although these seem to be more component-based. So you have your connections and your sources and your very light scripting.
Yeah, they're basically dumbed down ETL tools. ETL, extract, transform, load, like what you hear Informatica, Cast Iron, Boomi, Jitterbit, Pervasive are all in the ETL tool space. There's others, Ab Initio, someone was mentioning the other day.
Talend.
Oh, Talend. There's another one someone else was mentioning. I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of remember them. But basically pulling data from one source, putting it into another, and then, but doing it repeatedly, doing it, nightly, doing it through millions and millions of records. They're all done with things called maps and connections, and really where they make their money is that they have all these built-in connections. So, they like to say, we have 300 built-in connections. That means we can connect up to 300 different sources, and a source being Salesforce, a source being Excel, a source being Access, a source being FTP, a source being Sugar CRM, a source being Dynamics, those are all sources, and move the data between them. We happen to do work with a lot of them, with some degree. Some are great, some are not, but these are all these are all kind of like those big, which cost somewhere between $1,000 to $5,000 a month to run. These are all kind of the free versions and the lighter version. Right.
The light version, the one that you would download if you felt like playing with some of these. You could download them today and just start playing around.
Right. So, I mean, out of these 3, I agree. Jitterbit's the only one I've even played with a little bit. because of those other big ones, I have developer licenses to them. So when I want to do data loading, and I want something a little bit bigger, I just go to the tool that I have a developer license to and I can use, and I use that. In fact, I was doing it the other day for a FoxPro database. They sent over a FoxPro database.
FoxPro's the first database I ever worked with.
They sent over the FoxPro database thing, and I tried to open it on the Mac, and it failed. And I tried to open it on Windows, it failed. And I said, ooh, let me try this ETL tool. And it swoop, right open. I was like, oh. And then I connected up to Salesforce, built made sure it was going into a custom field, and I was like, click, and it went whoosh. I thought, ooh, so nice. So that's what's nice about the thing about the data loader that's not very good is it doesn't have a very good sense of repeatable.
It needs a CSV.
Right.
You can schedule it on like Windows Scheduler.
Right.
And have it run in a command line prompt or something along those lines. And I mean, that's basically it. You can map field to field.
And you can't take one field. You can save schemas.
You can save the map, sure, the mapping.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't take one field and shoot it to two.
Right.
You can't do like complicated upserts.
Nope.
You can't do relationship type data with it. You can a little bit with the upsert function in the data loader because you can give it like an external ID of a parent record.
Right.
And it'll relate it for you, which is nice, but you can't do very complicated things.
Right. And yeah, so it has lots of limitations. Anyway, you should go if you are at all work with data. I was just checking these out because again, free is the right number, and they do give you a sense of like, oh, this is the beginning of something. So then you can see, oh, if I like this tool, I can test it. Because a lot of these ETL tools,
this
these
is like
big
the
ones,
freemium version.
Yeah, you don't get. There's no freemium version that I know of like cast iron. Like I don't think it's a cast iron downloadable play with me thing.
No, there is a freemium Informatica.
There is
the data loader.
Yep,
there it is.
There
it runs right inside of Salesforce too.
Informatica, known as one of the sort of best known in the Salesforce space because they're very big in the Salesforce space.
So
they do like 99%
some of
of all
these
their
are downloadable installs like Jitterbit. Some of them Informatica is actually can run right inside your Salesforce instance.
Yep. So cool. Check them out. You go see what we wrote about them, the good, the bad, and the not so good. Just to let you know, if you're a podcast listener, the order of which they're written is not the order of their importance.
Yeah, this is not like a ranking like we like this one better than this one better than this one. It was just here's three, here's how they compare to the data loader, not to each other.
Right.
We had some comments. From some friends.
But friends who work at some of these companies who might not like that they were not the first. So do your own math. All right, next up.
I'm going to answer this in one word. You go.
Is Salesforce pivoting from its social enterprise wrap? Wait, don't answer it.
I'm going to answer in one word.
No, let me. This is an
article.
article.
Answer the question, then you go.
No, because I want to set it up before
fine.
you answer it.
You set it up, then I'll answer it. You go.
So this is an article about on ZDNet. It popped up this morning. Actually, I saw it in my daily Zeit read. Still love Zeit. I'd pick Zeit every day if I could. And
article was written yesterday.
Right, but
your Zeit.
I don't read it.
Your Zeit's a day late.
I don't read Zeit at night.
You're lovey-dovey with Zeit. You're a day late.
No, sure. I don't read Zeit at night. I read Zeit in the morning. So anyway, they're making a thing. They're saying that they're moving their part of their marketing, and they base that a little bit off the website, which I don't know if it's a great way to say whether they're marketing or not, but moving it away from talking so much about the social and social enterprise, moving it back to sort of the things that sort of they've been talking about for a long time. Much more cloud, no hardware, no software, sort of, the traditional Salesforce marketing. And they're making the assumption, or ZDNet is, I am not, that is because the social, I thought it was interesting, they're saying social and social enterprise is so much more about the culture of the company who's doing it, that it doesn't take with all people. And if that's not your culture, then when you say social enterprise, it's a turnoff. Like, in those magazines I read, like turnoffs, social enterprise. It's a ZDNet magazine. So they make a kind of good point. What do you think? Do you think Salesforce is pivoting away from the social enterprise?
Yes.
So tell me why.
Was that a surprise answer for you?
I didn't know which way you were going to go.
You didn't know?
No,
Right.
you did surprise me because I didn't know which way.
You know why? Because Salesforce pivots every 2 years. This is a true statement.
Okay.
Their marketing pivots from left to right to straight to backwards to forwards every few years. Is their technology mix going to pivot from focusing on social to something else, going back to the core? Likely not so much. But their bread and butter and where they still make money right now is still in being a cloud computing company first and having social enterprise capabilities as part of that cloud computing spectrum, right? So the whole marketing thing about like being the social enterprise company for them almost doesn't make sense. It's like, we're a cloud computing company. We provide cloud computing solutions, no hardware, no software. We offer you services. And one of those services is the marketing cloud. And if you want to get into it, it's all about social and connectivity and this and that and the other.
Listening and Buddy Media. And
they
Radio
have
6.
the Buddy Media. They have the Radiant 6. They're not going to go away from it. But to go out there and be very boastful and loud about business is social and really just hit that home and talk about that as the big thing, when there are still plenty of companies out there that don't think that cloud is the big thing, you're missing the boat a little bit. So right. I know we've talked about it 10, 12 years ago when they're out there and saying, no software, no hardware, SaaS, making acronyms up, making up terms, cloud compute, making these things up. That's kind of where they are now with the, business is social enterprise, whatever, however they want to phrase it. To me, I think their bread is still buttered with, we're the cloud computing company. We are the trusted cloud computing company. We're the enterprise cloud computing company. And what do you want to do in the cloud? Oh, you want to collaborate in the cloud? Great. You want to do marketing in the cloud? Great. You want to do sales in the cloud? Awesome. That's what we do. You want to do service in the cloud? Great. We're the best at it. That kind of thing.
Right.
And social is going to be always a part of the story as far as they keep going with Chatter, as far as they keep buying things like Radiant 6 and Buddy Media. They're going to keep tying into social. That paradigm of how people communicate and collaborate with each other has kind of just I don't feel like it's just started, but it's really catching the momentum, right? How people communicate, how people are connected, how their products are connected, all that stuff is really just starting. So I don't know if, they're going to get totally away from its social enterprise wrap, but it's going to be part of a bigger thing. It's not going to be the thing because they can't totally abandon Service Cloud. But Service Cloud has ties into social, right? It has all those ties. Same thing with the Marketing Cloud. Clearly, that's a big hedge on social and marketing and Facebook and Twitter and listening and all that stuff. So that's my take on it. I think the short answer, the one-word answer is yes, Salesforce is pivoting from its social enterprise wrap, but no, the technology that they're providing and going to be doing as little subsets of their overarching, we are still the cloud computing enterprise, the big bad wolf in the room when it comes to cloud. That's where they're gonna hit the mark.
Yeah, I mean, I've never loved or never felt that it hit home as much as, I remember sitting and listening to one of the probably 50 times I've heard Mark Benioff speak, and I remember being at the one where it was in New York. It was like 5 years ago, and it was the one where they brought up the author of The Big Switch.
That was a great one. I was sitting right next to you.
Yes, you were.
Nicholas Carr.
There you go. Very good on the name call. I was just about to say that. And I remember when Nicholas Carr got up and talked about The Big Switch and talked about shifting of trends in industry and in the way we do business and the movement from individual, everybody having their own power plant next to their thing, to moving to power as something you just plug in the wall, and moving that and comparing contrasting that to the cloud computing revolution. I remember that just being a big moment and mind blown. it's like putting the
that
jack
book
on the
was
bottom.
mind-blowing, and it's funny.
But Business is Social isn't mind-blowing.
Not as mind-blowing.
It doesn't blow my mind. It makes it like it makes me have to. I kind of have to discuss that, and I kind of have to. I kind of think, well, if you really think about it, it's kind of like people, they're listening to you and they know what you want, and they can kind of do what you want, but they're in the social thing, and it's a way of communication, and it doesn't feel as natural as, do you know how you used to do this, and now we do it this way? That's what cloud computing is. Like, it's so simple and so bare bones and so true that you almost can't argue with it, right? There are no power plants. There are no manufacturing arms that all have their own windmills next to them anymore because they can get it from the grid. We've taken something and commoditized it. Computing platforms, SaaS, platforms as a service, software as a service, these are all becoming commoditized thing. Email is commoditized at this point. It has almost no value. It's gone down from something you would pay. I remember when we worked at that company, the big company. I remember they threw out numbers of how many email servers they had, right? And how much they paid for all that, and how much architecture and infrastructure they had to run all that email. It was, massive. Now, in that organization, they probably still do, but that stuff is getting less and less and less because it's becoming something you can just buy off the shelf from anybody for $1 a user per month.
Remember when we used to pay for, as the business unit there, what were we paying for?
Oh, we paid like $35 per user per month for email, and then you pay an extra $10 for
forget all that.
Space.
I'm talking about like when we were doing application development, and our developers were like, we currently use X. Was it MIPS?
Oh, yeah. It's a term they use for computing power in on a.
And it was like a big deal.
Yeah, how many
when
MIPS
we were able to like cut down
the amount of
MIPS that our applications were using.
Of course, use less MIPS.
Use less MIPS.
Right, because you're running on
a mainframe. It was like a huge deal.
It's like mainframe information processing something.
It was a huge deal. It was like, we just saved this amount of money because we cut down from, I'm just making numbers up, 100 MIPS to 50 MIPS.
We were charged back for MIPS.
Right.
They literally would charge
the business unit
MIPS
for MIPS.
Right. So like what we're talking about is
usage.
Our website. The firm that we worked at, the website, not just some marketing website, had functionality built into it, and that functionality ran on, believe it or not,
lots of hardware.
Well, ran on mainframes, and those mainframes would run that technology, and they would charge back the business. So the business who owned the website was charged back for the MIPS that they used. So yes. So anyway,
we went there.
Yeah, we went to MIPS. When's the last time you heard MIPS?
Yeah, this went from social enterprise marketing to MIPS in about 4 minutes.
I was just going to look up MIPS.
Good luck with the spelling.
No, MIPS. It's millions of instructions per second.
There you go. How many MIPS can we cut down?
Yeah, what's the MIPS?
Because that saved us money.
Anyway. So while I'm not sure that changing the website is an indicator of that. I think they have many different marketing messages and they're all over the place. I would be happy if they changed it back to something that was a little bit more meaning to everybody. I think what you talked about, like you should be their marketing, when they talk about a platform, software, easy to get into, scalable, that stuff still rings true with everybody. It's a scalable, feature-rich platform to run these parts of your business and many more parts of your business that you haven't even thought of, and you can do it all in one place for cheaply, and you can go up and down as you need. That still resonates with every one of our clients. So moving on to things that also resonate with everybody. Apple announced some earnings.
Let's not talk about the earnings.
No,
no one cares about.
But I'm saying I'm getting there.
All right.
Because in their earnings, they announced earnings. Who cares about Apple's earnings? But one of the things that came out of it for us cloud computing people was that they send the Apple CEO Tim Cook said that the users send over 2 billion with the B iMessages per day on the iOS ecosystem.
Amazing.
2 billion iMessages a day.
In under 2 years, right? iMessage has been about 2 years.
I don't know if it's even 2. It was beta until
iMessage on the devices wasn't beta.
Yeah. I don't know when it came out. Wait, let's see.
I mean, I love iMessage. I love it to the point where it almost bothers me. And I think you feel the same way.
Maybe.
That
I don't agree with you in most things, but okay.
I don't even like texting with people that aren't on an iOS device anymore. It's annoying to see it green and not blue. I'm
Why is
this green? I don't like this. I don't know if you got it. I don't know if it got there. I don't like this.
Are you so happy when you text somebody and it starts to green because it's a new person,
and
then it goes to blue, and you're like,
I love it. I love it so much, and I love picking up conversations in my Messenger on my laptop, and then closing that, and then picking it back up on the phone, and then picking it up on my iPad mini. I just love being able to go from device to device to device and having the state be there.
Yep.
It all goes through the iCloud, and it's all just the whole conversation stored. I just love it. I can't get enough of iMessage. Of these 2 billion, I've sent 1 billion. I love it.
Yeah, I will say it is. There are quirks to it, and there's things that I don't. But it's like taking texting. If you just say texting, it's texting 2.0. That's what it is.
Sure.
And I wish they just sold it like that. They should call it texting 2.0 because it takes texting and it does all the stuff that you're like, why doesn't texting, okay, texting from 10 years ago, I get it, but this is texting 2.0. So it has read receipt, it has delivery, you can see people typing in real time. So is that other person actually there? Maybe it's time to pick up the phone call, maybe it's not. It has grouping that actually works better. Device agnostic. It works on anything. You can be.
I still think the grouping is a little screwy.
The grouping, if you sent a group, if one person starts a group, it's okay. If the other person has another group with the same people, but it's in a different order, then it starts a different group.
It gets screwy.
Yeah, and again, lots of stuff that's wrong with it, and I think that's very impressive. 2 billion a day iMessages. The phone carriers must be pissed.
Oh, yeah, because it's it's using their data.
But I would shut off texting. I would literally, because everybody in the world I want to talk to,
because they charge still per text message, and you'd think that price, I think it's 8 cents to send one and 2 cents to get one, which is so dumb. You're getting something and you're paying for it because somebody decided to send you something.
Imagine if you paid for getting mail,
it's
email.
Oh, thanks for sending me that thing. I have to pay for it now.
Thanks for sending me, hey, where are you?
Yeah. So kudos to Apple. We, obviously use the data component of your service to send an iMessage because it's going over the data network and not the cellular part or the phone part of your network or whatever. Yeah, it's tiny. I love it. And I really just love the device part of it. I mean, I love sitting at my laptop and getting an iMessage and just being able to answer it from my laptop without having to go to the phone.
Right. And they've gotten it. I mean, I've noticed it's not perfect, but it's close. If you're actually in one device and answering and sort of communicating one device, it knows not to tell the other devices that it's going.
Totally, you're absolutely right. Because the first time,
100%.
It's not. The first time, it'll buzz your phone, and you're like, ooh, got an iMessage. You check, you say, oh, there it is. It's in my messages on my laptop. You start answering from there, and the phone stops buzzing. I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
It is good, and the syncing. Syncing's a little weird. Like if you're off your computer,
if you're off an iPad for let's say you go on a trip. I went on a trip. I had the iPad on airplane mode for a week. I get home, take it off, goes onto the Wi-Fi, and oh Lord, it took a while. It took a little while to sync it all back together, but it worked.
I have a question for you. So
go on.
Years ago, you picked WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, I still use it.
But has it come down or the same?
Same, still use it because
you have a couple friends who are not on.
There's one friend who has a Droid, and I use it primarily for a 5-person group conversation.
Right.
One of the people is on an Android phone. So
frustrating. Ever done that with five people?
I get mad at my one of my friends. He doesn't get that he can use iMessage. So he'll stay in WhatsApp and send me just a 1-to-1 WhatsApp, and I will, being the person I am, respond to his WhatsApp in iMessage.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, I've done that. I've done that with Chatter. I've responded to Chatter with email. I'm like, this is not a that
I'll
Chatter.
I'll just forward you this.
Yeah, I'm going to forward your Chatter to me via email. Anyway. All right.
Let's get some picks.
Let's get some picks. Let's do some CloudFocus app pick of the week.
So, speaking of...
Go for it. Tell me yours.
iPhones and iOSs. I saw this. I don't know when it actually came out. I saw someone tweet about it.
They tweeted it up.
It came out right at the end of 2012, so it's been out about a month. Really interesting app called Social Tape.
Social Tape.
All one word, Social Tape. I actually spelled it wrong here. I don't know why I spelled it wrong, but I spelled it wrong. So what Social Tape does is you log in via your Facebook.
So what is
credentials.
it? Wait, yeah, so is it an
I'm getting there.
app?
It's an iOS app.
Okay, iOS app.
You log in through your Facebook credentials, and all it does is pull in all the videos from your newsfeed into one place. So it filters the entire feed down to just videos.
Okay.
So if you know how like you look through your feed and sometimes people put cool videos, or like, you know, you follow your favorite sports team and they put the highlights in there for that night, or someone puts a funny like viral video stupid thing on there, and you just want to look at the videos, this is a way to like literally just take like 15 minutes worth of content from people that you follow or are friends with and just have it there for you at any given moment.
Okay.
And you can skip through them, skip ahead. It puts a little channel together for you. It's free. I was like, I'll try it. I tried it, downloaded it, and I've used it a few times. It's kind of interesting. You go on there and you're like, oh, I caught up with the viral videos. You can skip them. I like them really for the sports teams because they put the highlights up there.
Right.
I just like, all right, I just caught the highlights from the Knicks game.
Can you go to just a user, so like the Knicks Facebook page, and just watch all the videos from them?
Not sure.
Okay.
Gonna be honest. Don't know. But
Please.
that's my pick. Social
Honesty.
Tape. It's free. It's from a company called Dragon Tape, and you can find it in the iTunes App Store.
Sounds awesome. My pick, I have no idea where I got it from, but
Sounds British.
it is not. It is not even what you think. I'm actually going to put the link in here so now you can click on it and find out what it is.
Thanks.
Or I'll show you what it is, because I have one. So I'm one of those people, if I see something on the internet that I like, I buy it because I'm like, oh, I got to try it. So it's called the toddy cloth. What is it?
I told you, it sounds British.
Yes, well, I did it with a British accent just because you said it sounded British. So it is basically a microfiber cloth, like you would find to, for your eye, like you get for your eyeglasses, like your glasses or sunglasses.
Looks like a screen cleaner.
And it's a screen cleaner, and it's great for, I'm going to hand you a toddy cloth and my thing, and you can see it actually does a very good job. It's a great little micro
You just
thing.
handed me your iPad mini.
It's pretty dirty, filthy, so there you go. So
It's
clean it up.
full of
So what I like,
grossness.
why use this versus anything else? Well,
Why is this versus the cover that this came with? That
Much
is
easier.
supposed to clean the thing,
Well,
but it
'cause
doesn't.
now flip it around and do it on this.
I'm going to use this right now to
I know
clean
you
my
are.
laptop screen. 'cause
Exactly, and
it's got some filth on it.
and your TV,
Ooh, my TV.
and they come in different sizes. So I bought a bunch of them. I bought two.
Do I use only one side of
Yeah,
this thing,
just
or
one
the
side.
other?
The other
The other side's like decorative.
Yes, the other side has a design. So I bought one at home, a big one to put in the living room that has a big American flag on it. So anyway, it's just a little micro cloth. It's called the toddy cloth. I saw it on something. I thought it was funny. They are literally like $7 or $5 or whatever. If you buy two, you get like one free. But there's some fun.
Did you buy two?
I bought three actually. Yeah, I bought two and I got one
You
free.
didn't give me the free one?
No.
What's up with that?
No, I put one in my bag to keep forever.
What's up with that?
But there's some neat designs. They look cool. They do a good job. I've actually cleaned my screen a couple times.
I just cleaned my screen. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a neat little thing. So toddy costs a couple bucks. It's on toddygear.com. TODDY gear.com. Go check it out, or it's in the show notes that are on the website. So go check those out. Neat little fun thing. I just love this. I have some great picks. I have a great pick for next week. It's actually sitting at home in a box waiting for me to open. I didn't even want to bring it up this morning because I want to go home and open it up and play with it all weekend. And I think you know what it is because I talked to you a little bit about it, and I'm so excited. So next week's pick is going to be massive.
I know about this.
And it's going to, and I have.
How do I know about it?
There's multiple parts to this pick too. Like it's going to be a pick that also comes with something else. So it's going to be a multiple part pick next week. It might even need to be turned into a blog post. That's it for this week. Remember to go to blog.arksync.com to check out all the podcasts and blog posts we've talked about. Remember to go to Facebook. We're at just Arkus Inc. And we're on Twitter at Arkus Inc. And Just Edelstein over here is on Twitter. Jason M. Atwood, I'm on Twitter. We're in the Dreamforce portal. We're on LinkedIn. We're everywhere. We're even on Google+. You can find us there if you want to hook up and see what we post. Those are all the great places. Remember to subscribe in iTunes. Leave a review there. We love that. Or in your favorite podcasting app, whether that's from one of the millions of apps out there. I think more and more people are using these podcasting apps and not subscribing through iTunes.
Oh, I tried last week.
Yeah.
To use podcasts instead of Instacast.
Yes.
I can't do it.
What was the whole?
I just don't even get it. Like it's not even close to as intuitive. I'm like this doesn't feel like an Apple product because I can't get it. I don't get it. So Instacast wins.
Instacast, I
just don't want to pay for an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like that's super annoying.
It's something I use. I always feel like if something I use for a year that I've used, I listen to all the time, I use all the time. It literally costs $5. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it. And I've been testing it. The syncing of the episodes and where you at and what you've listened to works great. So the Instacast 3 update is worth the $5 if you listen to a lot of podcasts because it keeps it all in sync across multiple devices. I would love to see an Instacast Mac app because the one thing
that'd be fun.
Yeah, sync it over to my Mac, right? I'm listening to stuff here, just sync it over.
Yeah. Does podcasts sync to iTunes?
Podcasts can read from your iTunes what you have subscribed in your iTunes. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it reads from there, but that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, that's where you used to listen to them.
That,
yes, it can too. So. All right, so we'll wrap it up this week. We'll be back next week with another episode of CloudFocus Weekly. This is Jason and Justin saying, well, enjoy those cloudy days.